The mahogany conference table reflected the faces of my family like a dark mirror, and I watched their expressions shift from bored indifference to shocked outrage as the lawyer read my grandmother's will. My sister Veronica hadn't even bothered to wear black to the reading. She sat there in her designer jeans and cropped sweater, texting on her phone until she heard the word house. I, Margaret Eleanor Winters, being of sound mind and body, do hereby bequeath my residence at 445 Sycamore Lane and all its contents to my granddaughter Lillian Marie Winters. The phone clattered onto the table. Veronica's perfectly glossed mouth fell open. What? My father shot up from his chair, so fast it scraped against the hardwood floor. There must be some mistake. Read it again. Mr. Garrison, my grandmother's attorney of 30 years, adjusted his wire-rimmed glasses. There's no mistake, Mr. Winters. The will is quite clear. The house goes to Lillian. But that's ridiculous. My mother's voice pitched high, her pearls clicking as she gestured frantically. Veronica needs that house. She's been struggling, trying to find herself. Lillian has a job, an apartment. A studio apartment, I corrected quietly, that I share with 2 roommates. Dad turned to me, his face flushed the way it got during tax season at his accounting firm. Don't be selfish, Lillian. Your sister is family. Family helps family. I almost laughed. Family helps family. Where was that philosophy when I was working 3 jobs to pay for community college while they funded Veronica's art degree at a private university? Where was it when I spent every Sunday for 10 years driving 2 hours each way to help Grandma with her groceries, her garden, her medications, while Veronica couldn't be bothered to visit even on holidays? Sign it over to your sister, Dad said, not asking but commanding. She needs it more. That's when I smiled. Not the fake smile I'd perfected during family dinners where Veronica's failures were reimagined as finding her passion, and my successes were dismissed as lucky breaks. This was real, and it felt like armor. Actually, I said, reaching into my purse, Grandma left something else. A letter. She asked me to read it if this exact situation arose. What letter? Mom demanded. I pulled out the cream envelope, my name written across it in Grandma's spidery handwriting. Inside was a second envelope labeled for the family, and a sticky note that said, "Read yours first, dear." My hands were steady as I unfolded my letter and read aloud. My dearest Lily, if you're reading this, it means your parents are demanding you give your inheritance to your sister. I knew they would. They've been doing it your whole life, taking from you to give to her. But not this time. The house is yours, earned through love, not blood. Every Sunday visit, every grocery run, every flower you planted in my garden while Veronica was too busy to call. You were my true granddaughter. The other letter will explain everything. Stand firm, my brave girl. Love, Grandma. The room was silent except for the hum of the air conditioning. I opened the second envelope. To my son William and his wife Patricia, I am dead, so I can finally speak freely. You have failed as parents. You took a brilliant, hard-working daughter and tried to dim her light to make your other daughter shine. It didn't work. Veronica is unemployed at 28 not because the world is unfair, but because you never let her fail. You cushioned every fall, funded every whim, and excused every laziness. Meanwhile, Lillian worked nights stocking shelves to pay for textbooks while you bought Veronica a car she crashed within a month. You want to know why I'm leaving everything to Lillian? Because she's the only one who loved me, not my money. The house has been in our family for 60 years. It will stay with someone who values family beyond what they can take from it. If you contest this will, Mr. Garrison has a folder of evidence. Every birthday Veronica missed, every excuse you made, every time you asked Lillian to help out while giving her nothing in return. Don't embarrass yourselves further. Margaret. I folded the letter carefully, my grandmother's words hanging in the air like a judgment. This is manipulation. Veronica shrieked, her face blotchy with rage. She turned Grandma against me. No, I said quietly. You turned Grandma against you. When did you last visit her, Veronica? I'll wait while you remember. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish. We both knew the answer. 3 years ago, at Christmas, for exactly 45 minutes before she left to meet friends. Mr. Garrison, my father said, his voice dangerously low, will be contesting this will. The elderly lawyer smiled thinly. As Mrs. Winters anticipated, I should inform you that she videotaped the will signing with multiple witnesses. She also documented every visit through her doorbell camera. Lillian appears 507 times over the past 10 years. Veronica appears 12 times. Would you like me to continue? You've been planning this, my mother accused, pointing a manicured finger at me. You manipulated a sick old woman. She wasn't sick, I interrupted. She was lonely. She was forgotten by everyone except me. I didn't visit her for the house. I didn't even know she was leaving it to me until today. I visited because I loved her. Love doesn't pay bills. Veronica snapped. I need that house. Do you know how hard it is to find yourself when you're worried about rent? I wouldn't know, I replied. I've been too busy working to find myself. 2 jobs during college, 3 after graduation, and now I manage an entire department at 26. But sure, tell me how hard your life is. You've always been jealous of me, she said, tears streaming down her face. But I knew those tears. I'd seen them work on our parents 1,000 times. Jealous of what exactly? Your 5 failed business ventures that Dad funded? Your art career that produced nothing but debt? Your influencer phase that ended with 17 followers? Lillian, my mother gasped. How dare you speak to your sister that way? How dare I? How dare you sit there and demand I hand over the one thing someone gave me out of love, not obligation? How dare you ask me to subsidize Veronica's life again? I stood, gathering my papers. Grandma saw what you refused to see. She valued the granddaughter who showed up, not the one who showed up only when she needed something. If you keep that house, my father said, standing to his full height, you're no longer welcome in ours. The words should have hurt. A year ago, they would have devastated me. But now? I thought of Grandma's roses that I'd pruned last month, the kitchen where she taught me to make her famous apple pie, the porch where we'd sit and talk about everything and nothing. I haven't been welcome in years, I said. You just never said it out loud before. I turned to Mr. Garrison. Thank you for everything. Grandma spoke highly of you. He nodded, a small smile on his weathered face. She spoke highly of you too, young lady. The keys are in the envelope. The house is yours, free and clear. She paid off the mortgage last year. We'll sue, my mother threatened. We'll take you to court. With what grounds? I asked. That Grandma loved me more? That I earned what Veronica felt entitled to? Please sue me. I'd love a judge to see the receipts from all the family dinners I paid for while you told everyone Veronica was between opportunities. I walked to the door, then paused. Oh, and Veronica? The house has a mother-in-law suite. I'll be renting it out. Market rate is $1,500 a month if you're interested. Though you'll need proof of income, first and last month's rent, and a credit check. You know, standard stuff for adults. Her scream followed me down the hallway, but I didn't look back. The house smelled like lavender and lemon polish when I unlocked the door that afternoon. Everything was exactly as Grandma had left it. Her reading glasses on the side table, her crossword puzzle half finished, her cardigan draped over her favorite chair. I walked through each room, memories flooding back. The kitchen where she taught me to cook after I confessed I was living on ramen in college. The living room where we'd watch old movies and she'd tell me stories about Grandpa. The garden where we'd planted roses, tomatoes, and the apple tree that was finally bearing fruit. On the mantel was a photo from my college graduation. Grandma and I both beaming. My parents had been too busy attending Veronica's boyfriend's art show to come. But Grandma was there, front row, cheering louder than anyone. My phone buzzed with texts. Mom, this isn't over. Dad, you'll regret this selfishness. Veronica, I hope you're happy ruining my life. I deleted them all and blocked their numbers. For the first time in my life, I chose myself. That night, I sat on Grandma's porch with a cup of her favorite tea, watching the sunset paint the sky purple and gold. The house was quiet except for the wind chimes she'd loved and the distant sound of neighbors walking their dogs. My phone rang, an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Miss Winters? This is Sarah Chun from Channel 7 News. We received an anonymous tip about a family dispute over inheritance. Would you like to comment? I smiled, knowing exactly who'd called them. My family always did love an audience for their dramatics. No comment, I said. But if you're looking for a story, I'd suggest investigating why adult children feel entitled to their siblings' inheritances. Might make an interesting piece. After hanging up, I found another letter in Grandma's desk, this one marked, open after they leave. Lily, my dear, by now they've shown their true colors. I'm sorry you had to see it, but not surprised. I've watched them dim your light for years, always taking, never giving. The house is yours, but more than that, your life is yours. Stop living for their approval. You never needed it. You have something better, your own strength. The garden needs tending, the roses need pruning, and the apple pie recipe needs to be passed on someday. But first, live there. Be happy there. Fill it with your own memories. You earned every square inch of this house with love. Don't let anyone tell you different. All my love, Grandma. P.S. Check the attic. I left something else for you. In the attic, I found a safety deposit box key and a note. For your business. Because unlike your sister, you'll actually start one. Inside the box at the bank the next day was $50,000 and another note. I saved this over the years instead of giving it to your parents to waste on Veronica. Consider it a thank you for every Sunday, every smile, every moment you gave me when you could have been living your young life. Start your business. Buy your freedom. You've already earned it. 6 months later, I sat in my home office, Grandma's former sewing room, running my freelance accounting firm. The mother-in-law suite was rented to a lovely retired teacher who baked cookies and helped tend the garden. The main house had become a haven, filled with friends who came for dinner, colleagues who used the space for meetings, and the laughter Grandma always said was missing. My family? They contested the will and lost spectacularly. The judge not only upheld Grandma's wishes, but ordered them to pay my legal fees. Veronica moved back in with our parents, still finding herself at 29. They occasionally drove past the house, but the security cameras Grandma had installed, and I maintained, kept them from doing more than looking. The best part? The local news did run that story about entitled inheritance disputes. My family wasn't named, but everyone knew. The community that had watched me grow up, that had seen me work multiple jobs while Veronica partied, finally understood the whole truth. But I didn't need their validation anymore. I had something better, a home filled with love, a business built on my own merit, and the knowledge that sometimes the best inheritance isn't money or property. It's the strength to finally say no to those who only knew how to take. Every Sunday, I still make Grandma's apple pie. I tend her roses, now mine. I sit on the porch with my tea and watch the sunset. And I remember her final lesson. Love isn't measured in what you give up for family. It's measured in who shows up when you need them. I showed up for Grandma. She showed up for me. That's the only family tradition worth keeping.